Hello everybody, how you guys doing? I hope everybody is doing well. You're welcome to today's program. Today we have a very important guest in our program. I told you guys we will go out of our way to bring you guys the best, the trending, the who is who by all standards. And so today, like always, when we have a special guest, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our very special guest that you guys have waited for all this while. This is the former beauty queen, former actress, former this, former that, presently this, that, and so many other things. Please make welcome Regina Askia Williams. Regina, you're very welcome to our program today. This is former beauty queen. Can you hear us, Regina? Dress.
Yes.
Former this, former that, presently. Okay. There's a feedback from another device. You need to take that down. Askia Williams.
Okay. I wonder which one that is.
Very welcome. I don't know. You don't have another device?
Okay.
There's an echo. Can you hear us, Regina?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you, but there's an echo. So I'm wondering, is there another device that is on? You may need to take down the volume of that one.
Okay, let me check. I wonder which one that is.
I don't know. You don't have another device? Okay. There's an echo. Can you hear us, Regina?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you, but there's an echo. So I'm wondering, is there another device? Are you able to fix it?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you. We can see you clearly.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, it's good now. So how are you, Regina?
Is it okay now?
Yes, it is okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So how are you?
I'm good, but can you hear me well? Because I had to put down my volume.
Yes, we can hear you perfectly well. As long as can you also hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, wonderful. So Regina, it's been a while. Honestly, today we want to find out what's up with you. Let's start with where have you been? You were all over our screen a lot of years back. We saw you in advertisements, we saw you in movies, we saw you on TV, and all of a sudden we didn't see you again, and all of a sudden you're all over the place again. So let's go back to where have you been all this while, from the days of Regina Askia, the beauty queen. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so tell us, from those days of Regina Askia, you can take up your volume a little bit. I think you'll be fine. Take it up a little bit, so you can hear me. So tell us where and what has happened from the days of Regina Askia, the beauty queen. From there till now, let us know what has happened.
All right. So I take it that this is a very informal conversation, or are we going to be politically correct, or are we just going to have an honest heart-to-heart conversation?
Okay, let me set the background upon, or the foundation upon which we're going to have this chat. You see that it's a chat. On my program, we chat. We don't interview. We don't interrogate.
Good.
We want to have a heart-to-heart discussion. But there's no how do this? Nothing is off the shelf here. No holds barred. Anything can come up, but it's a heart to heart. You're not bound to answer any questions. You're not bound to respond. But I want you to feel comfortable. All our viewers and our subscribers, they are people who just want to understand what's up, you know?
Okay, so let's take it from there.
Yes.
I mean, you all know, you all have seen that since the days of the beauty queen, Regina, the actress. I have gone ahead to have 3 beautiful children. I have gone ahead to become a family nurse practitioner, and now I am, like you say, everywhere, but not everywhere. I mean, I'm doing something that I think is useful for the community in terms of public information. Um, on your health, and also discussing issues that are pertinent to our own well-being in our different communities, the African community and the African in the diaspora community.
Yeah.
I think we still have a problem with sound, or are we okay?
We're okay. There's a tiny feedback from your end, but oh, I hope it's not from my end too. But I think we are okay. We are okay. I would presume we are okay. If there's a problem, they will tell us. Listeners, if you have any problem, let us know. Okay. Okay. They say everything is okay. So let's proceed. Yes. I know you just flew through that narrative so quickly. So we're gonna drag you a little bit back again. Tell us
Yes.
about your upbringing. You can summarize that your where you were born, your early days, schooling, a little bit of parenting, and all that, just by way of knowing you from the basics.
All right. So my early days, if you want to go way back to Lagos, I was born in Lagos, raised in Lagos for the early years of my life. Then my father got transferred to Calabar, where he was a top government functionary, and my mother was an educator. So I was raised in a household of strict parenting, like most of us were. And I was not a silver spoon kid, but I did not lack anything. I would say I was kind of spoiled, but you know, I got to grow some sense sooner than later, and it worked out.
Okay, so which schools did you attend?
I attended wherever my mother was headmistress. That's where I went to. So in Lagos, there was the Anti-Ayo Prep School, then there was the Retigel School, and there was the, so many other schools. Wherever my mother was posted, that's where I went to. And then later on, I went to Federal Government Girls College, Calabar. From there, I went to Federal Government Girls College, Calabar. From there, I went to Unico. From there, I went to Unilag, and that's where I met all the troublemakers. I don't know where, I don't know if you were in Unilag too, but there were great acolytes, and so many people that came out of that institution are great men and women today. You know,
Oh, okay. You went to Unilag.
yes,
Well, we didn't know about other schools. There were only two universities in Nigeria. Then there was University of Nigeria, and then the rest. So we didn't know about Unilag and all.
really.
But go ahead. I just wanted to clear that air. So, but just go ahead. I will just. What did you say it was
Your opinion,
Unilag?
your opinion.
Okay, okay, okay. So you went to Unilag, and then after Unilag, and then after Unilag, yeah, what happened?
After Unilag, I worked for a bit because when I was in Unilag, I was on television, I was on commercials, on calendars. Uh, um, getting onto TV like that earned me money. So as a student, I was quite a rich student on my own. Um, we all had to work and go to school, so that's what I did. So on graduation, I continued working. In the field I was on, which was television and campaign promotions. And that saw me into producing television programs, into Most Beautiful Girl in Nigeria, into dramas on television, into Nollywood, and the rest is history.
What did you study in school?
I studied biology at the University of Lagos and graduated in biology. And then I produced health and beauty programs on television and branched out into insurance. And then, did a few soap operas and worked as an actress in a lot of Nigerian home movies.
Why I decide to do this, and a lot of our listeners and our regulars know why. Because I believe that people don't just drop out of the sky. So what I try to do is I try to go back. Let's go back and see this person coming up. And someone like you, just within a short time, even listening to yourself, you will see how colorful your life has been. You studied biology, but then you did this other thing, you worked and that and that. So these are what makes someone who they become. When people just drop out of the sky and they're showing us pictures of Bentley and hush puppy like things, we're like, hold on a minute. Okay, so that's why when we think someone is genuine, what we try to do is we try to show people, let's do a test. Let's see where this person is coming from. And I have not been wrong so many times. So I really want to thank you for, opening the door to your life and letting us see where you're coming from. And that's the essence of this whole thing. We want to show people authenticity. We want to show people what real human beings are made of. They don't just drop out of the sky. So thank you very much. And then, I mean, your activities in Nollywood, in the film industry. What I'm just gonna ask anybody to do is to go back and Google Regina Askia, and you would know all that you need to know about her. You were really very popular, and we're gonna come back to all of that. But let's talk about COVID-19 and what is going on right now. You went on to uh, train as a nurse, and currently you are in the nursing profession. So tell us about your profession as a nurse. How did you get into nursing?
Okay, so you see, in my life, there is a thread through everything. My background has always been sciences. My family has doctors and nurses and all that. As a matter of fact, I was named after a nurse in my family who birthed me. So, medical sciences and all that. So, having graduated in biology, and when I got here, I thought that that was the best outlet for my qualification. So I chose nursing instead of medical school because remember, I also was in medical school, but I was not very interested in medical school. So I chose nursing. Nursing gave me an opportunity to express myself and express my qualification. And I ran with it. So it's been almost 10 years. I started as a nurse. Now I became a family nurse practitioner, almost a DNP. And I will conclude it with the highest qualification in the nursing practice. So, as a nurse, we were all working on the unit when COVID happened. Nobody was prepared for COVID, nobody knew what it was. And its advent was so sudden, right? So sudden, and the rate of infection was so quick. So much so that the number of people coming into the hospital with COVID, you know, quickly overwhelmed the number of resources we had to take care of them. So we had to learn quickly and stay on top of our toes when it came to understanding how the infection worked, how it was transmitted from person to person. So we had a crash course on training on how to uh, take care of people who have COVID. So it was like in a space of 2 or 3 weeks, we all learned how to diagnose COVID, how to triage the patient, diagnose COVID, the COVID care protocol, and it was a very high anxiety high tension situation, but we had to pull through. We are the nurses receiving the patient. If we're anxious and scared, what would the patient do? So that was my COVID story. And today, till today, even though the infection rate has gone down in New York and so many of our COVID units have closed, I am still working in a COVID testing center where we are testing people for the virus and also following up in terms of contact tracing and trying to contain the infection through that route.
I must say, Regina, that you are one of the people that make us proud because when we hear all this kind of unpleasant stories about Nigerians and Africans, you know, people from our country and stuff that they're doing, painting us bad, we know that there are also a lot of people who are doing wonderful things and amazing stuff. So when we see people like you doing what you're doing, it makes us happy and it makes us proud. So we want to thank you on behalf of all of us for being there in the front line, for doing what you do. A lot of people backed out of the job. They were like, no, I no do. And they resigned. They said they were sick and they called in sick and they took a vacation, they took a study leave. I know people who did that. But
I
people
wonder
like
how
you,
you know so much about that.
oh yeah, I do. I do. I do. So for people like you who stayed back and you took care of the rest of us who stayed at home, and you took care of our families and stuff like that, we are really very proud of you. Now, Regina, talking about Niger and Yankee, let's talk about the Nigerian dream as against the Yankee dream. You were in Nigeria, you had things working well for you, you were doing well, you were making money way back in school. What did you? How did you come about the dream of traveling abroad? And yeah, how has it been? But let's talk about the transition because you had a good dream in Nigeria. You had things working for you in Nigeria. Hello?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, we still have a little echo, but I hope that's not messing up the audio.
No, no,
Let's
no.
talk about the Nigerian dream and the Yankee dream, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I seem to have everything, and then I just up and left.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you, since we're having an honest conversation,
Sure.
everything is not what it seems to be. Okay, um, when I looked at my life in Nollywood back in the day, there was no like a structure in Nollywood, but there is now, right? But in my time, you would shoot a movie and get paid, and that was it. Okay. There was no process where royalties were arranged, so much so that when your movie is shown, you keep making an income, right? So lines of income were cut short as soon as you were paid for a movie. All right. That was one. Secondly, there was some kind of monopoly of the market, and the people monopolizing the market could blackmail you in terms of whether they would want to use you in a movie or not, or whether they would let your movie hit the market or not. You would face problems like that. And back in the day, I was a very headstrong young lady. um, if you tell me that you blackmail me, I blackmail you too. If you do not want to use me in your movie, I would not use you in my own production. I mean, I felt that I was the MVP. So your loss if you didn't want to use me. But then how far could I have gone with that, right? If so many people in the industry decide they don't want to use you, where does that leave you, right? So I asked myself that question, and I said to myself, listen, the world is opening up, right? We are now citizens of a global village. You have really gone far here. You have made an indelible mark here. Why don't you see what you could do outside of this space, right? Why remain a big fish in a small pond when you can be a fish in a big pond? I don't want to say a big fish in a big pond because because it might not have turned out that way, right? So So for me, it was time to see the world. It was time to grow, you know. So I have been to every part. At that time, I had been to every part of the world. I hadn't been to America, right? And that was supposed to be God's own country. So why not give it a shot? Okay. That was my reasoning on one level. On another level, if I stayed back in Nigeria, what would my life had been as? Remember, I was a single mother with a beautiful daughter, and I was this crazy actress. Everybody had a story about Regina that was not true, you know. Everybody had a story about me that was not true. So
What
what
was the
were my
story?
future prospects
What,
looking like in Nigeria? I was not convinced that, it would be okay. So I
Regina, what
decided
was the
that,
story? What was the story they had about you that was not true?
come on now, you remember how the press used to pick on Regina? Anytime you see Regina, there is some kind of sensation following it. Even you know, even you and those of you who read those stories would say, oh my God, is this the same person? Yes, I am the same Regina, only what was portrayed out there about me simply was not true. People had to sell newspapers, people had to create sensation to move a campaign, So I suffered in that direction a lot,
What
and
is there any
it's
particular
that.
is there any particular story or impression out there in those days that if you had a chance now you would want to correct?
You see, what really used to annoy me back in the day is if I said hello to somebody, oh, Regina was spotted with so and so, maybe there is an affair, maybe there's a. I really hated that, But I realized they were just trying to create stories to sell their papers, but that was so long ago. That really used to piss me off. And remember, I was very volatile back in the day. And thank God for growth and maturity. Thank God for Jesus.
I
So,
think there was
we have
there
come
was
a long,
something
long way.
I think there was something you guys smoked in Unilag that got all of you so high and radical.
What?
I think there was something you guys ate or smoked or drank in Unilag that got all of you so high and radical. All of you were just so
No,
radical.
no. We were good kids. We were largely good kids in Unilike. Back in my time, I don't think there was a drug problem, or
No, 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 no,
if there
no, no,
was,
no,
I
no.
didn't
I
know
mean
about
that.
it.
No, no. Don't get me wrong. What I mean is that I mean it in a good way. That you guys were very radical when it came to students' union. Unilag was very, very active, and people who came out of Unilag, there was something. There was a level of consciousness in Unilag that made you guys very. You were politically aware more than a lot. Maybe it was the city and all of that. So a lot of people, yeah.
There was that consciousness, definitely, and you're seeing the result of that consciousness in the political sphere today. I don't know if you want to go there, or
We will.
maybe your
No,
view is
we
to
will
ask
go
questions to
there.
go there,
Relax.
but
We will go there.
the products of Unilag, those of us who passed through Unilag, when Unilag was Unilag, when we were great acokites, they all are making serious impacts in their environments wherever they find themselves today. And I really appreciate that I had an opportunity to go through that great institution.
No, awesome. When it comes to that, I really truly respect what Unilag did to you guys. I remember as a student of architecture in University of Nigeria, we went to Unilag and I was amazed at the architecture department. And then, but we'll talk about all that later. You talked a little bit about the Niger dream and the American dream. So when you came over to America, tell us a little bit of what it was. So now you are in the Big Apple.
Now I am in the big pond that I was looking for. I'm a big fish in the big pond. Okay, let's talk about adjusting to life in America.
Yeah.
And let me start with, oh my God.
God, I know.
There.
I know.
Okay. All right. Remember that when I was back home, the lifestyle I was used to is on a different level here. Okay.
I know.
All right. So let me start by advising my Nigerian brothers and sisters, right? who have that level of lifestyle, hang on to it, okay? Hang on to it. Because out here, it is such a process. And this process puts you through changes, right? But the changes leave you a better human because you get to learn about so many things and you are responsible for so many things, right? Okay. So let me just start with the basics, the banalities. Um, at home, we would have a big home and there was space, right? In New York, for my boys' quarters in Africa, you would pay like an arm, right, to rent it. You understand what I'm saying? So you spend so much money for such little space out here. That's one, okay? Secondly, we would have like a retinue of staff to help out in the house. Out here, if you want that, you can have it, but you're gonna have to pay like, what's the minimum wage now? $15 an hour. You want to drive up, $15 an hour. You want to make $15 an hour. And you have to provide reasonable accommodation if they're going to be living in and all that. It was, really expensive to have the type of life I had back there out here. All right. But thank God my husband, had all that covered. So I came to relative comfort. So now when I got over here and asked for the props of the kind of life I had back there, everybody was telling me, get over yourself and get with the program. Oh my God. It was a rough transition, but, I came through that beautifully. And where I had people raise my child, have the maid take care of the child, I took care of my children. I know my children beginning to end. I teach them. I know them down to their red blood cells, how much they have and how much they don't have. I run my home. If I need to, I would hire people to come clean and do what they need to do. But then again, I am in charge, so I am responsible for people. I'm responsible for patients. The buck stops with me. So I can't really delegate. For that, I am grateful, for the opportunity to really come into this level of responsibilities, graduating levels of responsibilities from low to highest, for that I am grateful. And you know how people in Africa treat their staff. When you come here, it's a different ball game. You don't do that. You don't do that. We all are human. We all are looking for employment, looking for a way to make a living, because somebody works for you does not mean you should, down on them or treat them any which way. They are there, they are human, they are just trying to make a living. And the way we interact with each other here is very different from how I see Nigerians interact with their staff. That's a big thing we have to consider, especially when it comes to Madame and the maid in Nigeria. And the maids are so young, getting younger and younger back there, and all the abuses they have to go through. Those things don't happen here, you see. So comparing life here and there, it has its positive and negatives, and back there has its positives and negatives. But if you ask me overall, I'm really grateful to be out here. Awesome. Because of the way things are at home.
Awesome. It's good you talked about this, against the background of all these stories we see about house helps and maids and stuff like that. So I'm glad you really pointed that out. Now, I just want to inform people, for those of you who can't wait, who are itchy, who are impatient, this interview is about Regina Askia. Every other person is extra. Today, we are focusing on her. She does a lot of interviews, but today, we are focusing on Regina and knowing about her. So just keep your cool about all the explosive things you want to talk about. We're going to get to that, okay? Now, Regina, let's dig in a little bit. You came to the U.S. Do you want to talk a little bit about your your life here, relationship, marriage, kids, just in a summary, whatever you want to talk about. Because we're getting to know you.
This is not the red table talk. Okay?
Hold on. You beat me to it. Okay, hold on. You actually beat me to it. You know what? I was gonna I was gonna play a video. I promised that I was gonna play a video on this program, and that was the red table video. But you actually beat me to it. But I'm still gonna play that video so that the people who do not know about it will know about it, because I really want us to talk about it. But go ahead, Regina, before I play the video, tell us what you want us to know about your family life in the U.S.
Okay, so you are that's a very open-ended question, and I know that wherever I start is where you're going to put your leg in to introduce any question that will take me into opening things up.
It's
First
my
of
job.
all,
It's my job as your interviewer, so I'm just doing my job.
okay, first of all, yeah, I know that we had a prior discussion and you showed me a video of my honest conversation with my son.
Okay?
Okay, I just want to let everybody know that this conversation I only had because it was with my son. Okay, and somewhere along the line we decided to share because the climate in America right now has most mothers having that conversation or that type of conversation with their son, right? With their sons. The reality of being a Black man in America
Yeah.
is something that each and every one of our children needs to understand. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go out there and you run into the police or you run into people who treat you less than who you are or who treat you like a second class citizen, you know how to comport yourself.
Yeah.
You first need to understand the nuances of the problems, the social problems we're facing right now. When you understand that, you know how to come at whoever, comes at you. So before you have a conversation with a child, you have to evaluate where their mind is at. Okay. When you see where they're at, you introduce that topic in a way that they will understand. Okay. So I asked my son to ask me questions. And the very first question he asked me was about his father. Oh my God. I didn't know whether to switch it off or whether to. I said, listen, just take a deep breath and continue. As usual, when I'm in a tight spot, I laugh. Okay, so I laughed and we continued.
Hold on,
Okay.
Regina. So, um, just so that people don't, it'll be nice for people to also listen to that conversation so they know exactly what we are talking about here. So we're not talking in we're not talking in isolation. So I'm gonna go and try to pull that video so that people can also listen, so that when you're talking, they know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, so let's go. Let's listen to that video a little bit, because I know a lot of people may not have heard the video.
Okay, Rudy. You had a few
This
questions
isn't
for
being
me.
posted, right?
No, this is for me and you. But if you look at it and you like it,
Eh,
tell me what.
no.
Okay, so ask me questions. You were talking about your father.
How'd you and Dad get divorced?
How did we get divorced?
Yeah.
That was a very rough patch in are you asking me that because you think that I will not be able to post it?
What?
You're asking me that so I will not be able to post it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, so we're not gonna post this part. Okay. It was a very difficult patch in a relationship. People are on different journeys at different times in their lives, right?
So your father, at that point, his head was not really in investing in our relationship. He wanted to be, wherever he wanted to be. And it was not something I signed up for. And we had a lot of fights and quarrels, issues, and, you know, and some things you can't really forget and forgive. It would take a long time to be able to forget and forgive. And we kind of separated and went our different ways. I was in the house, he was tossed away. At a point, I said to myself, this is not the life I want. And so I left.
You kind of told me this already. I mean, like, what kind of issues?
Tell me, what story did I tell you?
The exact same one that you just said. We had issues and we split apart.
So you're asking me what type of issues? What did
Except
you hear?
from the domestic ones.
Huh?
Except from the domestic ones.
Domestic what? Like domestic violence?
Yes.
That was a dark patch. I'm not gonna lie about that. Yeah, we fought a lot. Physically and verbally. Emotionally even, we fought a lot. And he resorted to using his hands, but I cut him down with my mouth. Things didn't go well. And the children were in the middle. Right? And you are really big into computers. You can do all those marks and things you build. There's a lot he can teach you from there. Even though it's old school, he can take his old school knowledge and put it with the new school one. Your father is a great resource for you, but you guys don't seem to see it, and you.
Because it's a video that is out there already, what I'm gonna ask anyone to do is to go back and play that video. But Regina, I want you to know something. That was a very, very vulnerable thing that you did out there. And I know
I don't see you no more.
you don't see me no more. Hold on.
No.
I'm sure you're seeing me now. Are you seeing me now? Are you seeing me now, Regina?
1 second.
Because everybody.
Can you see me?
Yes, everybody's seeing us.
Okay.
Okay. So that was the height of vulnerability as far as I'm concerned, honestly. And a lot of people do not understand what you were doing. A lot of people are like, oh, why would you talk about your private life in public? Why would you do this? These are private things. But our people are very funny. Do you know why I think they're very funny? When they see the same thing from some other people, they gloat over it, they publicize it, they fight over it. But when they see it from their own, it's okay. So this is the video that's been trending. Let's go over to this for some of them who even claim that they know about it and they don't even know about it. I'm gonna pull this video and then we will come back and talk to Regina, because I'm gonna show you guys this. I'm gonna show you the similarity between what you guys are spreading out there and what our own Regina has done. And then I will also tell you guys why what she did is very, very important. And hold on here. Okay, I'm going to play this video because I know that's the video that a lot of people are talking about. Even some of us who didn't have data to play the video, we're just commenting still. Okay, so let me play this video now. And this is Will Smith and Jada Pinkett.
Red table for me, just all the stuff that's going on in the press. I felt like it was important to come to the table to really clear the air. Somebody made a statement for me that wasn't a statement I made, that went cray-cray.
And one of the reasons why I wanted to come to the table is the media, the headlines. We specifically never said anything.
Yeah.
We were purposely not saying anything. Any headline that says Jada said or Will said or the Smith said is not true. We specifically never said anything.
Right.
So coming to the table was like, we just felt like it got to the point where you got to say something.
Yeah, and to stop that cycle.
Yeah.
You know, there's people's feelings involved.
Right.
You know, and at the end of the day, I don't like how all of this came to be. That doesn't matter. It's all love, honestly. And I would usually not, you know, that would be something I wouldn't comment on at all.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like it's a situation that I consider private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's business. But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
But, you know, I feel like it's healing that needs to happen. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now.
Yeah.
Even though this is minuscule, I do feel like it's these kinds of things that create the world that we're in. And the idea of not communicating, not talking about it, not clearing the air, and just being as transparent. Just being transparent.
And I'm here with you.
Yeah, I thank you for that, because you've been on a hell of a journey with me. So that's what we're going to start with, is that this is a very personal journey that became very public.
Yes, absolutely.
For whatever reason.
So what happened, Jada?
Okay, so let's start with, I guess about 4.5 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was about 4 years ago. Started a friendship with August. And we actually became really, really good friends. And it all started with him just needing some help. You know, me wanting to help his health, his mental state.
Because for me, that was the thing. When Og first came around, he was really sick.
He was really sick, yeah.
And the outpouring for him from our family was initially about his health.
Yeah. And I mean, we found all those different resources, you know, to help pull him through. And from there, you know, you and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided...
I was done with your ass.
Yeah, you kicked me to the curb.
I was done with you.
Yeah.
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we basically, we broke up.
We decided that we were going to separate for a period of time, and you go figure out how to make yourself happy, and I'll figure out how to make myself happy.
Well, at that particular point in time, it was indefinite.
Yeah, I really felt like we could be over. You know?
We were over.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, you know, I think from there, you know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August. And one thing I want to get clear about and clean up, one of the things that was kind of swirling in the press about you giving permission, which is, you know, the only person that can give permission in that particular circumstance is myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission, because we were separated amicably. And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker, which he's not.
I think, so, I mean, because this is your red table and you like brought yourself to the red table, I think you need to say clearly what happened.
As far as what?
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened.
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
Well, okay, so that's the part that I was particularly interested in, the entanglement part. Can you hear me, Regina?
Yes. I didn't hear the last thing you said, if you said something.
Okay, I said it was the entanglement part.
You muted me. You muted me.
Yeah, but I can hear you. We can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Regina? Can you hear me?
You are very clever. I didn't hear the last thing you said, if you said something.
We're having so much echo, and you're hearing me with it from a delay. So, but how about now? Can you hear me?
Let's just fix that.
Yeah. Okay. So
I can hear you.
okay, you can hear me.
Yes.
But there's an echo, and I don't know why it happens. There's a feedback that keeps happening. So if I mute you from here, and I can still hear you, but can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay, we can't hear you. Okay. So if you unmute yourself, can you unmute yourself? Good. Okay. So if you unmute yourself, let me mute me. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
How about right now?
Yes.
Can you hear me right now? Okay.
You can't hear me.
Okay. Sorry. Let's keep it that way. We can't do anything about it. Let's just continue. Let's just continue now. We're already on the program. Okay. So, the part that was interesting to me in that video is where they were trying to be as vulnerable and as explicit as possible. Even when Jada said entanglement, Will Smith is like, this entanglement thing, let's call it what it is. It was an affair, not entanglement. So they were as open as possible, and a lot of people are like, wow, they can't believe that these people can talk about their private life. So going back to the video that you did with your son, that was what was very outstanding to me. I really, really was impressed with the fact that you actually considered doing that video. And one other thing that I want to tell you that you did in that video that was outstanding is the fact that you, even though you had issues with your husband, your former husband, and it's up to you if you want to talk about it. But even though you had issues with him, to hear you telling your son about your husband and the manner you were telling him about your former husband, that was so good.
Please don't call Rudy former husband, please.
Okay, so please
We'll have trouble.
tell us the right thing to say, please. That's why it is important we have this conversation. So please,
Okay.
take back.
So
Hold on. I take back what I said. You see, that's how we can misconstrue things. What is the status of your relationship with Rudy?
Okay. So the red table talk was Jada and her husband.
Yes.
Okay. This talk is the talk you showed was me and my son.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay. So Big Rudy is still in my life. He was, he is, and he will always be. Okay.
Good.
So at some stages we may have separated so that we could heal ourselves, so that we could get counseling, so we could fix our family. But we are together. We've always been together. Even through the separation, we were always together. So you would hear me say to my son that,
are you divorced? Are you divorced?
Yeah, we did that.
Okay.
We did that shortly. And then, even though he never accepted that document or never agreed to sign that document, that is our private business. But what everybody needs to know is that there's no vacancy as it is, okay? So if a couple wants
it's good you said that, because I have a lot of people emailing me and texting me secretly for your number. So So
No, there's no
you want to
vacancy.
say that again? There's no vacancy?
There is none. Big Rude
Okay.
is still, he was here, he is here, he will still be here.
Okay.
Okay. So couples go through all kinds of situations.
Yeah.
And then, love, when you truly love somebody, you decide to stay and fix it, right? And then we all grow. We all start from somewhere, grow through a journey, grow through our experiences and arrive somewhere. All right. So love is the decision. It's not how you feel. It's not it's a decision that this is this person. Okay, so he is rough. He is not as romantic. He is this. He is that. But I decide to stay here, and this is where I will be. Okay. So Jada and Will Smith formula will not really work for Rudy and I. I mean, even through the separation, if there was any entanglement in the horizon, there will be massive trouble. So I recognized that quick, and I did not allow that to happen.
Okay, hold on. On your side, you have
Yes,
said there's no vacancy. And
no vacancy.
I hear you now saying that if there is any form of entanglement on any side, there will be massive
Yes.
trouble. Is that a warning? Are you
No, there's not. What I'm trying to say to you is that Jada and Will Smith formula will never work for me and Big Rudy.
So that's what I'm
Okay.
trying to say on the part of
So I'm telling you that
yeah.
if it looks like entanglement wanted to happen, there would be massive trouble.
Even on the side
So
of
if
Rudy.
it's not allowed to happen,
Even on the
it
side
cannot.
of Rudy.
So don't even try it.
So, ladies, red flag, don't come close. Somebody has a loaded.
I mean, it's not, it could also be men, red flag. Don't
Yeah.
come close. There's
Okay.
trouble here.
All right.
So
problem.
everybody needs to stay safe.
Okay, good. Awesome. So, you guys heard it on Worship Media for the first time. Don't try nothing. No vacancy on both sides.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful, Regina. And so, moving on, Nollywood in those days and Nollywood now. What do you have to say? I see people who come out with just one movie, and the next time we are seeing them putting up Instagram pictures, living in big mansion, driving big cars, popping up. Is that really what it should be? And what is going on? What is going on?
Nollywood yesterday and Nollywood today, Nollywood today has grown exponentially because of the advent of social media.
Yeah.
Right? But I have to tell everybody, never compare the seemingly perfect life of social media pundits or gurus to your own imperfect life. It's two different things. On social media, it's all about the optics. It's to create impressions on whoever is impressionable, right? You go on social media, use it as a tool to market your program, to market your products, to advance a cause, and all that. So if people let me give you an example, all right? There is a kid I know, or my daughter was telling me about a kid in France who would go to the stores, right? Buy all these clothes, right? Leave the tags on, go home and take pictures in them, get on social media, post them on Instagram, right? He had Balenciagas, he had Fondays, he had all kinds of things, Gucci's and everything he had,
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton, all that. Okay, post them on social media. And you know what? He would tag these companies, right? He would tag these companies. And
Wow.
so when these companies saw him in these outfits with these products, you know what they did? They signed him up.
Oh my
So in this case,
goodness.
he was faking it until he made it. So he used social media as a tool to advance himself. So today he's living large and he's very rich because he's being patronized by all these people who want to use him to showcase their products. He took beautiful pictures and did that. So some girl in Akwa Ibom, or some girl sitting somewhere looking at him on social media will say, oh my God, what have I done with my life? Look at this boy. See how young he is. He's wearing this, he's wearing that, he's flying here, I'm flying there. You can rent cars, right? And take pictures. He's renting these cars and taking pictures, and everybody thinks he's living large, but it's all fake. He's faking it until he makes it. He has used social media as a tool, and then we see other people trying to copy that, and then they do what they shouldn't be doing just because they want to emulate a lifestyle they saw on social media. You see how it works on impressionable people, and sometimes positively, sometimes negatively. So you need to have your own set of values and know what you want to do with your life, and not just copy what people are doing on social media, right? My children said to me, Mommy, Instagram is a place where you go to see new fashion, new shoes. Nobody likes all these government things you put on Instagram. Stop it. but I want to use my social media to teach, educate people, inform. I want when you come to my page, you leave inspired, you leave motivated, okay? You don't leave feeling sorry for yourself, feeling less than, feeling overwhelmed.
Awesome.
We were talking about how Nollywood has transitioned. Now Nollywood has transitioned, in my time it was VHS. Now it is in front of the whole world.
Netflix.
On social. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome, Regina. It's so refreshing to see someone like you talk to people, because you are an example of what people should be. You're an example of what real celebrities should be. In the past, the people who were celebrity were like, people who were royalty, like the kings, I mean, the princesses, the royal family, they were the celebrities. People followed them. And then show business came in and entertainment. And then we moved to who we call celebrities. But right now, it is not the guys who are faking it that are the real celebrities. It is people like you who have been there, done that, and yet you still have your head on your shoulders. To become a nurse, you had to move through the ranks. You had to sit down and study and pass exams. And you do refresher courses all the time.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
You have to clock in a certain number of hours. You have to live by certain standards. So, and it is it is a full-time, lots of hours, draining job, and yet you find time to come and do the office of the citizen on your social media platforms. That is something very commendable. And even though people are wondering, why is she not? There's a lot you can. People like you, like I say, you're the real celebrity. You can still be promoting brands, but please, they should contact you to promote them. We're not saying that you don't want to promote them. Okay? Please, let Regina be the face of your brand. You people, are you not? Can't you see? What are you waiting for? But anyways, you have chosen not to focus on that. You focused on building building a better society, addressing injustice, being part of the political discourse, and not just sitting down, but being part of the whole conversation. And so I want to talk about the office of the citizen and what you've been doing. How did you come about that, and what do you want to achieve with the office of the citizen platform?
Okay, so you know that I do Saturday online clinic. Saturday online clinic talks about your health. Okay, the simple things you should do to keep yourself healthy so that you don't end up with us in the hospital. Okay. Because believe it or not, your illness does not start on the day you feel the fever or you pass out or you feel pains all over your body. Your illness starts years before in the choices you make, in how you eat, how you sleep, what you do, where you go, who you interact with. And this is, in short, being a product of your community. Okay, so we all are a product of our communities. If our community is not healthy, we are not going to be healthy because we interact with it every day. So now, in doing Saturday Online Clinic, it was necessary to take it from just the clinic to the community and listen to the problems of the community, the politics, the education, the what is available to that community to make it a healthy community. So in listening to that, Office of the Citizen was born because people had to have a way of tabling their complaint, talking about their complaint, and then having us discuss it, and try to find solutions to those problems. Office of the Citizen presented that platform. Let's talk about it. Let's try to fix it. Let's make our community healthy before you come to me on Saturday Online Clinic. Yeah. Okay, let me tell you something. Shawore is a double-edged sword. The Sahara people, okay? Yes. I'm trying to tell you that there are no friends there. He doesn't have friends. He does not have. So don't think that there was some kind of allegiance or whatever that I brought Shawore on. I quite understand. That guy, the Sahara Reporters, that side is double-edged, okay? All right. So why did I bring him on?
Oh, sorry. I was putting myself on mute when I asked that question. People don't know what you're going to answer. So my question was, Office of the Citizen brought Sahara Reporters on board, and the question is, why did you choose Omoyele Showore to come on board on Office of the Citizen?
Okay, and my answer is that during the presidential election in Nigeria, the recent presidential election in Nigeria, a group of young people contested. Showore was one of them.
Yeah.
Eunice Atwijide, Dr. Asukwamende Achibong, Feladuro Toye, and
Mogalo.
My guy, Mogalu.
Yeah.
And then there was the old people, the Atiku and the Buhari people. Okay.
Yes.
So now I wanted to talk to the young people and ask them what happened. Okay. Where did it derail? Because we were all hoping for a consensus candidate, but somehow that didn't work out. So I did speak to quite a number of them. I think the only one I was not able to speak, no, there were two, Feladuro Toye and Obi Ezekwesili.
Yeah.
Those were the two I was not able to reach. But then I reached out to Showore, and I was quite surprised that he agreed to come on Office of the Citizen and talk about it, and I was very anxious because, everybody knows Sahara Reporters and everybody knows Showore. That guy is a double-edged sword. He has no friends, okay? So he cuts any which way, If he needs to cut, he will cut any which way. So on coming on my program, I was very careful to present the questions I had pulled from the audience. And of course, he attacked me too. He attacked everybody on that program, including me. He called me a gossip channel. He called me, if I want to present facts, I should go do my research before I talk. And you see throughout my interview how he was, he was like that, yes. I had to remind him that, listen, I'm 4 years older than you, But then again, I'm cognizant of the fact that Showore is a double-edged sword, but that what he has been doing.
What you mean is that he's like a sharp two-edged sword, because double-edged.
Yes, no friends.
Yeah.
So
okay.
don't think that because I seem to be putting him in a positive light, maybe I'm his friend. No, I don't know him, and it is better to fly under the radar where that guy is concerned, because that guy was born exposing people, and that's what he will do till the day he dies. That guy is the WikiLeaks of Nigeria.
Okay. So Regina, you brought Showore on your show,
Yes.
but what started out as just an honest effort to to bring
Yeah.
Shore and ask him about what happened during the 2019 political exercise, ended
Yes.
up turning into an explosive session. And the next time we saw Reno Omokri in your program, how has all that been? I can see you're holding your head like,
Okay. So
what did you start?
I get a message from Reno that he needs to debunk what Shawari said on my program.
Yeah.
Mainly that he's not a criminal, that Shawari accused him of being a criminal. And I said, I did not hear that on my program.
Yeah.
He said that right after my show, Shawari had gone on another show and accused him of being a criminal. That's one. Secondly, he wants to debunk the fact that Shawari said he never worked to bring Buhari to power, you know. And then I said, okay, come on, let's talk about it. Because I was hoping to see some kind of countering of Shawari's claims. I mean, fact checking through countering of Shawari's claims.
Yes.
And so I was hoping he'll come and do that, and then we'll talk about Nigeria. But Reno came firing from all cylinders, you know. He was like steamrolling all over me. At a point, I was, is this my interview or is this Reno's interview? You know, everything I said, Reno had to counter, you know. Oh my God. I had to keep drinking water because I was seriously running out of steam.
I wanted to understand. The part I didn't understand is, and a lot of people would want that clarified, because at a point Reno was like, "No, Regina, no, no, now, no, why now? No, don't do this, don't do this." What was that all about? Did he think?
Again,
Yeah.
I don't know Reno. Okay. I know Ben Bruce, and I think Reno is very close to Ben Bruce. They're family friends.
Okay.
So I never had a one-on-one conversation with Reno, so I don't know him. So I don't, maybe he thought that I was siding with Showore or trying to, defend Showore. But the truth of the fact is, Reno and I were in an interview about Showore, and Showore was absent. So the onus was on me as the interviewer to play the devil's advocate and present Showore's case. But it came across as if I was, maybe an inside guy for Showore and, trying to lambaste Reno and further Showore's cause. But like I tell you, Showore has no friends, so don't even go there. Nobody should even think that I'm in that camp. I am not.
I know.
I have to present Showore and, we have us argue or debate about what Showore said.
Let me tell you something, Regina. You did a very, very good job with
Yeah,
with
coming from your camp, you would say that, right?
no, 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 not you. You know, and let me make this very clear. I am in the same camp with Omoyele Shore. I
I see
don't.
your beret, yes.
Oh yes, and the
So
orange.
when you invited me to come here, I thought you were coming to cut me, and I was ready.
No, 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 no. This was an interview about Regina Askia, and I didn't want anybody to steal that away from you. There's a lot to actually learn when we focus on you than a lot of. Everybody has got their space, and everybody has got the contributions that they're going to make. So talking about Reno and Omoyele Shore was going to be part of the interview, but that was not the main thrust of the interview. So you were not going to get a bashing from me. But the orange beret, just to let
Yeah.
everybody know, is a symbol of our resistance. It's, it comes from the Revolution Now movement, and when we started the movement, and it ended up with the August 5 days of rage protest that Omoyele Sowore called for, which scared the government so much that they had to lock him up and all that, just because he called for an ordinary protest. Anyway, so that's what the orange beret stands for. We will not mince words in telling people when they go wrong, that they are going wrong, and we want to beat them back to line, and that's what you hear from Omoyele Shore when he starts talking. Let me speak on behalf of those who are supporters of Omoyele Sowore, those in the Take It Back movement, those in the African Action Congress, that why I said you did a very good job is you actually set up a stage for Reno, because Sowore had come on your program first before Reno. And so Reno got the expo. He was more prepared. And so when you set up the platform, we came very excited because he said he was going to expose things. But he came to your program, and honestly speaking, sorry, but we were a little bit disappointed. So Reno doesn't come after me.
I don't want to start playing Reno, devil's advocate for Reno.
No, you're not going to play that. I'm just telling you what we saw. I mean, he said all he said, but because he gave us an expectation, when he came there, we didn't see anything new. All the facts were coming out of Sahara reporters. And Reno said something too. Let me clear that. Reno said that he got Sahara reporters to pull down the story about him. No, that story is still on. I too depend on facts. And I'm only quoting what he's quoting. But you know what? Let's just leave it there. I just wanted you to know that you did a good job. You stirred the waters, and the ripple effect, it's still there. And we expect...
Oh my God.
Yeah, of course. We expect you to do more of those things. Bring more people on your show. Let us talk about the elephant in the room. And,
okay.
But you did a very good job. You did a very good job. Now, I know there may be some people who want to call in. If you want to call in, the number is +1 647 989 2837. We've taken a lot of Regina's time already. It was supposed to be like barely under 1 hour show, but now we've exceeded 1 hour. So if you have...
Now that the volume, you should just, go on. Now that the volume is working.
Yeah, the volume is okay now. Yes. Sorry, guys, for that little echo in the beginning. But you can call. The number is +1 647 989 2837. You can call and ask any question. Regina is well suited to handle any of your questions. Yes, but for those of you who will be asking for numbers, there is no vacancy. Just know that. And for any ladies with some ideas, there will be a whole lot of big things happening if you dare. So, if you want to ask questions, you can ask questions. Okay. Go ahead. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Plenty Water from New York City.
Go ahead.
Why did you say Orange Beret was for revolution now? Orange Beret for party hijackers. How did you come about another narration for Orange Beret?
Okay. Can
Orange Beret was never moved for anything.
Okay.
Other than party hijackers. To differentiate between real and fake ANC members.
To differentiate between
narration about Orange Beret.
Between
fake and real ANC members.
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. They were trying to hijack ANC party.
Okay, sir.
Oh my goodness.
I will give you your time when you're finished. When you're finished.
Internet don't forget. Internet don't lie.
I don't, sir. Okay. Listen to what we want to do. Okay, everybody on our show has a right to express themselves, even if you want to cuss me about myself or call me names.
I'm not cussing you. I'm just talking about what you said just now.
Okay, but you see, a conversation is when you talk, you keep quiet, I talk, and you have to make your question. So you called me.
I just believe I have limited lines to stay on the phone because of other callers. That's what I'm trying
So what is your question? Can you ask your question, please, directly? What is your question?
About the new narration of Orange Beret.
Okay, can I answer now?
Because we all know that Orange Beret.
You know.
I think it's that.
You know, and you're asking. Okay, I'm gonna cut you off. And this interview is actually about Regina. Your questions are for our guests, please. But just before the next caller calls, because I know there's a lot of you, Orange Beret came out of Revolution Now movement. There's a day that it was formed. It's on the internet. So I agree with you. Internet doesn't lie. Just Google hashtag Revolution Now or hashtag Orange Beret, and you will get the truth about the facts. Go ahead, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Bright
Yes,
from US.
yes, Bright Ibokwe from US. Go ahead, Bright.
Yes.
What question do you have for Regina Askia?
Yes. I have a question for Regina.
Go ahead.
Without wasting time, why do you leave a vacancy for you and your husband when you know that you love me, there's love there, and the children are there?
Okay.
Why can't you just make it necessary for you guys to be together?
All right.
For the purpose of bringing love to your children.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so
You see, that's a very good question, but I'm not going to address it just for myself and my husband, okay? The reason why American society is the way it is today, especially for Black people, is because of absentee fathers, okay? So many of fathers in the American household, they're either in jail, they are separated, divorced, and whatever. And statistics have shown us what the impact this has on the children that come out of that home, okay? It is necessary to keep the family unit solid. If the family unit is not solid and children can have easier access to their father and easier access to their mother, the children that come out of that broken home statistically don't do well. So it was very important for me that despite everything we went through, not to let our own selfish reasons destroy the unit of our family so that we could give our children a fighting chance. That caller may not know, but let me say it again, okay? In the beginning, my husband and I did have a very fractious relationship, okay? So we would fight a lot, we would argue a lot. And then when you are in that kind of space, you cannot heal, okay? And who suffers most? The children. So if you are in a situation where there is a verbal abuse, physical abuse, and emotional abuse, look, for the sake of your mental health, for the sake of your family, take time apart and heal. When I say heal, please get some therapy. Talk to a counselor, a marriage counselor. Remember that we both came from very different cultures, okay? First of all, the food. He was disgusted by my food, and I could not eat their McDonald's. First of all, the food, then the way of life. I needed a lot of help, the maids, the driver, whatever.
Hold on, Regina. You're talking like Edikai corn and Ekpan Kuku. Were you cooking all that?
I was cooking all that.
Which human being does not love that kind of food?
He got to love it. He got to love it, So what I'm trying to point out is that in the beginning, there will be problems, but love yourselves enough, love your children enough, love your family enough to get help, fix the situation, and stay together, okay? So we had separated, and then we went for counseling. We both healed. We recognized where we went wrong. We recognized where we weren't being kind to each other. We healed, and we got back together, and our family is doing better for it. You see, in the conversation with my son, I was encouraging him to spend more time with his father, learn to become a man through his father, because he is a good man. He's a very well accomplished person, and he loves me, So how is my son going to learn to love his wife, to take care of his wife? My only problem is, you married a beautiful woman. You cannot always be going away to save the world and expect that, spend some time with me. That's my only problem. Spend some time with me, spend some time with the children, okay? Don't create vacancy and then wonder what is going on, whether entanglement will soon happen. No. Spend time here, spend time with the kids,
Oh my goodness.
So it's important to me that the family unit is preserved. I'm not going to tell you if your husband turns you into a punching bag, you should stay. No, don't stay. Go get help and fix your family.
Awesome. That's very wonderful. Like I said, I was really moved by the fact that you were speaking to your son about his father and all the beautiful things that you were saying about him. But hearing
It's
from
important.
you, hearing from you now, we can understand, and that is something I would want parents to realize out there, that you have a quarrel or an incident or a situation with your spouse, it does not that does not define the 20 years, the 15 years that you guys had together. There were beautiful
Yes.
moments. There were those times
Yes.
that he was toasting you, all the suya that he bought for you, all
Which
the,
suya?
you know, let me tell you something. My parents were separated at a time, and I didn't want to stay with my father because it was more comfortable and more fun staying with my mom and the rest of
Yeah.
my other siblings. But you know what, my father was a teacher in Onisha then, and he was a single man. Okay, he was a cowboy. So you know what my mother said? My mother said, "You need to go and live with him." I was like, "No way, I'm gonna die." She said, "No, your father is very intelligent. Your father is a very intelligent man, and if
Yes.
you stay with your father, you're gonna turn out a better person, and you're gonna turn around and help your siblings." And look at what I
Absolutely.
turned into today is because of the experience I had with my father. So
There you
I could relate with what you were saying. And a
Yes.
lot of families miss this aspect. They forget the other good parts of the relationship just because of one thing or the other. We should be able to compartmentalize things. If your husband is smart, he is smart. If your wife is beautiful, she's beautiful. It's not that you're quarreling. You go and become ugly because people are quarreling. No. If your wife is smart, if she has a master's degree, doctorate, she has that. Let's decide. Let's know how to deal with things. But like you have said, sometimes you need therapy to be able
Yes.
to understand these things and help yourself. I
Ex-
had another caller who
Yes.
I told to call back. It was on
Yes.
WhatsApp. So you can go ahead and call now. Or you know what? I would actually go ahead and call you and make it easier for you. And the guys, we're going to take a few more calls and we're going to come to the end of the program. So if you want to call, you better call now. Go ahead, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good afternoon, Chidi. I'm Comrade Samuel Robinson Itwa, calling from Germany.
Go ahead, comrade Itwa.
I quickly, first of all, want to thank you for your great work. I mean, you are a hero. Just
Oh,
very quick.
thank you.
On the other side, Regina.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. When you're calling on WhatsApp, you need to make it quick because the other calls they bump you off. Okay. And I have another.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'll make it quick. As the host of the Voice of Nigerian Citizens, of the citizens, rather, would you accept if we as Nigerians come together and say, please help us host the next presidential debates? Let us help us to host it, and we have these questions for you. Let us ask the real important questions that regard the challenge Nigeria really face. Will she accept it, please?
Okay, Regina, that question is for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That would be that's actually like that would be like a dream for me to be able to do that, because I have spoken to quite a variety of people, have listened to different communities, and I have heard the problems that they are facing, right from environmental changes to unemployment or underemployment, because you find a PhD holder working as a vulcanizer. I mean, come on, we have talked to people who are creating programs to absorb the young people of Nigeria. How will the government support them? How can the government follow in these steps to create programs that will, provide massive employment to young Nigerians? There's so many questions I have heard from quite a number of Africans in the diaspora that I would like to present in a presidential debate, because really it is time that we took our own destiny into our hands. All of us that are living outside of Nigeria, I don't know how they treat Black people where you live, but the way we live in America, it always gives you pause for thought. Why can't it be well at home? Why can't I thrive the way I am thriving here back home. So it is something I would gladly do.
Thank you very much, Regina. Caller on the line, just hold on. What I would actually want to ask you is, I, for one, I'm a member of the Revolution Now movement, and but I support the agitation for Biafra. I don't think that Nigeria. Oh yes, I don't think that Nigeria is at a point where I don't trust this present political system. I don't trust INEC. I don't think that they will do any credible election. So for me, before I even begin to think about election, I am for like I dissolution of everything from ground zero, and then when we have come to a point where we have a credible establishment and a credible system, then we can talk about election. That is for me. But for you, Regina, when all this is done and put in perspective, would you be willing to accept a political position in the government?
That's a very heavy question.
Like a minister?
That's
with all
okay.
the everything, you know?
I could, especially if it's in the health department. Good. I could, because there is so much I could bring to the table, right?
You can do well as the Minister of Health. That's why I asked this.
I actually would love to have be on a platform where I could influence the lives of so many people.
Okay, so let's leave it there. You will accept. Let's just leave it there. Okay, let's check.
Another very volatile topic. On my walk, when I say Bia, I get attacked before I even finish saying Fra.
Biafra, you are Biafran, so one day we'll talk about that.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Please, the next caller, go ahead, turn us down and ask your question, please.
Hello.
Hello, you need to turn me down, so
Hello,
there's no echo. We can hear
Hello?
you. We can hear you. Go ahead and ask your question. Yes.
Yeah.
But tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Oscar. I'm calling from California.
Okay, Oscar from California.
Yeah. It's nice seeing Regina's face again in the media. And Brother Chidi, yes. My question is this: maybe is there still hope for Nigeria from her own perspective? Does she still think there's hope for Nigeria?
Okay, so Regina, is there hope for Nigeria?
You know, it is difficult for me to say an absolute yes when I am privy to information and the way things are working out does not seem like people are being honest enough to say, let us fix Nigeria. Because if truly people had the interests of that nation at heart, the powers that be would listen to an immediate call for restructure. Okay, we will get together and take another look at the Nigerian Constitution. How was it that the Constitution of 1960 worked and the Constitution of 1999 just destroyed the nation? Okay, we would get together and try to do that. But for as long as people refuse to talk about restructuring, it seems to me that they are very comfortable with the status quo. So for me to come and say that there is hope for Nigeria will be like patronizing the situation when the obvious facts are in our faces that people don't want to have that done. Having said that, a united Nigeria would be beneficial, be most beneficial to us all, because our share population provides an immediate market. The owner of Twitter, the owner of Facebook, Bill Gates, all of them are coming to Nigeria. Chinese people are coming to Nigeria. Nigeria is the giant of Africa. It's a huge market, you know, opening up to the world. So if we are able to fix it and get our, you know, house in order, we would do very well as a united Nigeria as opposed to a broken down Nigeria.
Sorry, Regina, I have another caller on the line. I was trying to deal with him, and let's bring him in. So go ahead. I had to call you back because I saw you call before. Tell us your name and where you're calling from, sir.
Okay, Mwako is my name.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm calling from Warrior.
Okay. Area.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. What's your question for
Yeah,
Regina?
sorry for me. Yeah, I have a question for
Okay, go ahead.
yes, I'm very well pleased seeing her. I'm sorry for maybe taking us back. I just joined.
You say you're so happy to see her. Yes, go ahead and ask the question.
What was she has been talking about her family. I want to ask to know if they have come together and they are still together. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Regina. He apologized that he came in late, but he said he's happy to see you, but he's worried about your family and wants to know, have you guys come together? Are you still together? This is one of your fans from way back.
Yes, yes. We separated for a while, we got therapy, and we got back together for the sake of a family unit and for the sake of our children and because we love each other.
Awesome.
Okay. So
Awesome.
that's that.
Okay, thank you very much. I have another caller. You're on WhatsApp. Tell us your name quickly and your question before they cut you off. Hello. Hello. You're on WhatsApp, and we are listening to you. We're hearing you. Okay, maybe that's a pocket dial. Um, that one is gone. I'm just gonna take one other caller that we missed. I don't know which country is this, but let's just give him benefit of the doubt, and let's take him and see if that is gonna be somebody that we missed. I hope he picks the phone. I very much hope he picks the phone. Okay, he's not picking the call. Okay. Oh well, Regina, I think it's been an awesome time with you. I got more than my expectation. I didn't expect anything less, but I think you did. Okay. Someone is calling back. Let's take this one. That's usually what happens when you're about to close. Then everybody starts
Everybody
calling.
calls in at that time.
Uh, Go ahead. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Bros, I greet you. It's me, Christopher from Toronto.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I did fine, sir.
What's your question?
I just want to ask a question. What does she think will be the way forward? What can we do to move Nigeria forward? I mean, what can we do to destabilize this current governance, the way Nigeria is being governed? What can we do? Because Omoyele came with a revolution now, for me, which I didn't agree with. What, in our opinion, what can we do? Because we need to do something, because we can't just leave these people like this.
Okay, before she answers the question, why didn't you agree with revolution now?
Okay, let me tell you something. The reason is that, number one, Buhari, we know he was rigged in, we know what happened. But the system and the constitution and the court has already said he's legitimate. So what are you going to do? You're going to do revolution now. In every other country, look, I hate all this. I hate what is going on.
Okay. Sorry. I want to quickly get to Regina, but when you said Omoyele Sowore, you didn't agree with revolution now, which came to say, let us scatter this government. You have a question for Regina that Regina should tell you. Hold on.
Yeah.
You want Regina to tell you how we're going to destabilize this government, but you didn't agree with revolution now. Okay, Regina, over to you. No, we heard you. No, it's okay. Well, let Regina answer. Please, Regina, tell us how we're going to destabilize the government since.
Look, do I look to you like I can spend one day in jail to destabilize the nation? Okay, let me just tell you something. The immediate thing to do right now in Nigeria, is to secure, to ensure security of life and property. There is no reason why anybody, any country, any conglomerate will want to invest in Nigeria when there is such upheaval going on. People have come in through the borders, massacring, killing people, shooting people. Boko Haram is out of control. Who wants to come and invest in a place like that? So the first and foremost thing we have to do is to ensure the security of life and property. Outside of that, I don't think there's much more we can do. How do we ensure security of life and property? If we need to retrain the police, let's do that. If we need to retrain the army, let's do that. Let's ensure that we have a functional military and a functional police and a functional security organizations that we need to have.
Regina, I have a question. Let me cut in here. The next caller, please hold on, stay on the line. Regina, we want to do all of this thing. People know, but how can you secure that country when the people who are the helm of affairs of this security apparatus are just plain criminals and thieves stealing
that will not want?
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, in a situation where the people who are in charge of the guns and the bullets and the trigger are the ones who actually take the money that is supposed to be used to buy arms and go and store them in foreign accounts and send out our soldiers without the right ammunition, without the right ammo tank, and just sacrifice them to be slaughtered. What are we going to do?
You tell me. You're wearing the beret, okay? But I'm not going to agitate for scattering Nigeria. Too many lives will be lost, okay? And that's never it's never the right way to go. Is there a way we can demand for and get to be heard, to have some kind of a referendum, to have some kind of meeting, to demand for restructure, to demand for, security to be the security situation to be taken care of? Okay. I mean, come on, we all know this, that nobody is really working towards ensuring security, but we have chief of army staff, we have all those service chiefs there. What are they doing? Who is asking the questions? Why are they not doing their jobs?
Okay, so Regina, when you asked me, this is for another day, maybe if I come on your program, we will tell you what we have recommended as a solution, but just a little bit of it. Since all of these systems have failed, since you are worried that lives are going to be lost, Regina, if you check the statistics, the number of lives that are being lost right now in a peaceful, when things are supposed to be peaceful, the number of lives that Boko Haram are losing, the number of lives lost in the hands of Fulani herdsmen, the number of lives lost. Fulani herdsmen are all over the southwest, everywhere. They're raping women, they are causing mayhem. So it's like we are being pushed to the wall, and all we have to do is fight back. But like I said, it's a story for another day. I have a caller on the line. Quickly tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, hello, good evening. Yes, Jenny B. I'm calling from Germany.
Go ahead, Jenny B.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Chidi, and thank you for bringing our Auntie Regina Daniels to the program.
No, this is not Regina Daniels. This is Regina Askia Williams.
Regina. Sorry, Regina Askia Williams. Yeah, was a star in Nigerian Nollywood. Yeah. So my question goes like, but you have already answered most of the question, because the guy that called last before Regina was answering, So the man said that he does not believe in the red revolution, and Auntie Regina did not answer with sincere. That is what I want to tell her. Because when we say we don't need revolution, because before I didn't believe in Nigeria, I lose hope. His nation came up, so 2018. So that is why I go back again and be having hope in Nigeria again.
All right.
So we say we don't want to lose, we don't want souls to die. Do you know how many people that are dying every day?
Okay.
Not just people are dead. People
all right.
are dying in hungry.
Let me ask you.
Okay.
People are dying. I get poverty every day.
All right. Let her answer. Let her answer now. Let her answer. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, let me tell you something. Okay. Whether you accept Showare's revolution or not, okay, it happened and it moved a consciousness amongst people that we could demand for better, okay? We could ask for better. The way you take to make your demands and the approach you use in making your demands may cause for your arrest and detention, may cause for your organization to be scattered. Orange Beret, are you listening to me?
We are listening to you. Go
how
ahead.
far? Oh, how far with your revolution? Where did it land? Okay, there are so many ways. There are many ways to skin a cat. So do not use motivational speech and go and try to challenge a whole organization like Nigeria, like the army. Like, look, they'll just pick you up and lock you up, and that's the end of that.
No.
So how else can you approach that situation in such a way that you'll be able to make an impact and lasting changes? Okay, I believe in doing it from the inside. That's why I kept asking Shawari, is there no other way to do this? If you get on the inside and then you have several people at key positions, when you table this idea, that idea has to move forward because your people are supporting you in moving that idea forward.
Okay, Regina,
Okay.
you know, I am trying.
People get inside, they too get corrupt. Okay. And the dream dies there.
Sorry, let me take this person's question, and because I kept him on the phone, please go ahead and quickly ask your question, and then we'll answer it later. Go ahead, tell us your name and where you're calling from and your question. You need to turn me down. You need to turn me down behind you or somewhere. Okay, then you can ask your question. No. You need to turn off the other device. Okay?
Is that okay?
It's okay now. So quickly ask your question.
Okay, I'm Harrison by name. I'm calling from Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to ask Regina Askia.
Yes.
She has done wonderfully well, and I want to commend you as well, Chidi, that you are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, my question is, how much she's doing to engage the entertainers? Because it's so disheartening when you see entertainers on IGs doing giveaway that cannot be sustained to the Nigerian people that are going through hard time, and they are not actually speaking up. And you see them during elections campaigning for these cabals, these wicked leaders, and after election, everybody go back crying, hard time, and all this.
Okay.
What did she plan to do, or what is she doing?
Okay.
Engaging these entertainers, or if she doesn't have any relationship with any of them anymore.
Okay.
And secondly, the revolution now protest, it's not necessary it must lead to a war. We just needed people to come out, hold hands together in the street, even without saying a word. Just sending message to the government and also to the world at large. It will go a long way to make these people want to listen to Nigerians. We cannot remain in the room and think there will be magic somewhere or something will happen in a way. It will not work.
All right. Thank you. Thank you
Leaders
very
are
much.
insensitive and they are very wicked.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Now, Regina, before you answer his question, he wanted to know whether you're engaging entertainers, and then he made a comment about revolution now. But before that, you had asked me a question, and I told you I really don't want this to be about, you are the one being interviewed, not me. So I didn't want to talk so much about what we're doing and what I believe in. But you said, how far with your revolution now? And my question, and my answer is, you figure that out. Before revolution now, there was like, the government was going about their thing. Nobody could challenge them. They knew, see, that's why I don't subscribe to what you're saying, and that's what we must guard against with our youth. Because these guys, they've created the impression that if you dare challenge them, look at what we'll do to you. If you dare protest, this is what we'll do to you. So they were winning. People were afraid to challenge them. Look at every other civilization, look at every other country where there was a change. There had to be some sacrifice. There had to be people who stood up And when you see people like Omoyele Sowore, they didn't decide this overnight. They already had a taste of success. It was people like him that stood up those days of Unilag. You know that people like him stood up against the military, not even the civilian regime. They stood up against the military. Sowore stood up in front of at the stadium in Lagos, and they disrupted the whole thing. Guys, you need to hold on. We'll make this call after.
We have the footage.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. So when he stood up and he made that statement, they shut down the government until Babangida had to give up. So we must not encourage the narrative that if you do this, these people. We knew when we called for revolution. Now we were prepared. Let me give you a hindsight, Regina. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Before Sowore was arrested, if you call Sowore on the phone and maybe he was busy and you're like, hey, I'll call you back since you're busy. Chidi, better say what you're saying. I don't know for how long I'm going to have this phone or how long we'll have the privilege of talking. Any minute these people can take, I don't know, my life could be lost. It was that. Do you understand? So that's when you respect someone.
Okay, so I appreciate that.
I'm coming, Regina.
You have to have other classes of people working with you.
I will give you a chance to respond.
On different fronts.
So what is happening is we try to play by their own rules. First of all, we started with Take It Back movement. In our former discussion, we were talking about people in the diaspora. Take It Back movement was a response to what was going on in Nigeria. So we say we need to take back our country. So we started speaking to authority. We started talking like reasonable people. They waved us away with a wave of the hand. You people are non-entities. You people are inconsequential. That was the
How many people did you have on the inside? How many people did you have on the inside?
When you talk about the inside, the system in Nigeria, I'm going to come to that to let you know that, you see, that inside you're talking about does not exist. What exists is a cabal. If you must work with them, you must be like them. And those are the inside you're talking about. Yes, exactly. The people that occupy that inside, if you want to dine with them, you better be ready to be like them. I ran for governorship election in Enugu State. As a candidate, if I tell you what I found out about politics in Nigeria, you will puke. And that's what in their own language, that's what it means to work with them. They will say, oh boy, come on, sit down, make we show you the way. Now, after we did Take It Back movement, they criticized us and they said we were just making noise outside the country. If we were serious, we should come down, put boots on the ground. So we went to work with these people, with the political system that was there in Nigeria. That's why we registered African Action Congress. So now we're going to work with the system. When it came to time for election, we cast votes. And Reno Mokri did not really know the insides. I was of the inside. The votes that were cast, this same group of people, they turned the whole thing around, even against his own man, Atiku. So how can you be justifying those people? You can't work with them. So after that, that's when we concluded. So I need you to see that we did not just...
Are you trying to tell me you're not going to run again? Or Sowore is not going to try again in 2023?
What I'm telling you is... Let me speak for myself. Me, okay. Dr. Chidi Nwuanyanwu, as long as it is this system that is in place, I won't waste my time and resources running.
And that is when you have lost.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Let me get back on.
So let me tell you why. Yeah. As long as the man in charge is still the man in charge with the apparatus, these guys, maybe you don't understand the people you're working with. Right?
People I'm working with. Who am I working with?
The Nigerian system. You don't understand them, Regina.
Okay, I don't understand the Nigerian system because I am not in there. I know people have godfathers, connections, and all.
Exactly. So,
Regina, you have to get in there. You have to get hook or crook. You have to get in there.
Let me ask you a question.
If you get in there, you will effect changes.
Okay, so Regina, what you're trying to... How about if I want to get into government, I need to kill someone. I need to make sacrifices. I need to loot money. My question for you is this. If those are the criteria that I need to possess to be able to win, because you're like, just win the election and get in there.
That's a joke.
So that's what I'm asking you. Would you recommend that I do all those things and get into government just because I want to get into government? That's the problem.
Sir, those criteria you have listed to me is just so rudimentary. I cannot even begin to understand it. Talking about oaths, talking about killing somebody, talking about taking money.
But that's the reality. That's the reality.
I will take your money and I'll run for my office, okay? Because it is the Commonwealth of Nigeria. So whatever money you bring, I will take it and I'll run for office. The danger in that is that you might send somebody to kill me, which I don't want, okay? But by hook or crook, you have to find a way to get into that office. That
Regina,
you to push you.
Regina, you're contradicting yourself. I am able, I am willing to work with the hook. But how about the crook? That crook, if we expand the contents of that hook or crook, you see that crook side? If I expand it for you, Regina, you will tell me, Chidi, run. And that's why I am so grateful that I came out of that exercise back to my lovely family. I am so grateful to God. It is something that I would think seriously about before embarking. It doesn't mean that it is not possible, it is not doable. But I'm trying to tell you, Regina, you work in a system that works. If you get harassed in your department where you're working, you're not going to start going to work. Do you know why? Because you believe that there is a system that will listen to you if you take up this case against marginalization against you, victimization, whatever, sexual harassment. You trust the system. So that's why somebody will tell you, Regina, don't give up, fight. But how about when that system that you were supposed to go and report to is totally, completely non-existent or has been compromised? Why would you just go and... Do you understand what I'm saying? That's where I'm coming from.
Yes. So at this point, you're making me feel very, very hopeless towards Nigeria. So there's no hope for Nigeria in your own books. You're ready for Biafra.
So, Regina, like I said, that is a topic for another day.
I invite you to the office of the citizen. Let's talk about it.
I accept, because I am just treating you like my mechanic. Those days in Nigeria, when I tell my mechanic that I must take my car that day, he will say, "Okay, no problem." Oh. He will put down my engine. I will sit down at the mechanic village. By the time he will keep walking, he won't say anything. By the time it's 6 o'clock, I will say, even I say we'll go close. He say, "Okay, anything you say." So you asking me whether there is no hope for Nigeria, by the time I place the thing for you, you will be the one answering the question. But yes, I have someone standing by on the line. This is probably our last question for the day. Go ahead, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I didn't answer the other question. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Regina.
Let's listen to this question and then we answer
please,
it
let's
all
take
together.
your question and Regina will now answer all of them. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Chidi, good evening. My name is Marvelous and I'm calling from Italy.
Go ahead, Marvelous from
Italy.
Italy.
Good evening to you, Mrs. Regina. God bless you. Happy to see you on Worship Media. But I want to ask a question, and you said anybody who thinks he wants to do something should do whatever he could or should do whatever he can to get into the office. Do you think, you brought a mockery, Reno, to your program, and he came and he was saying he had some evidence against Showore, and he was talking about some of the pictures he snapped with RFI and the then governor of the CBN, Lamido Sanusi. And he was saying all sorts of things, and he said he was able to convince you that Showore was a blackmailer and a liar. But when I watched your program, I saw that Reno had no nonsense evidence. He was just a cheap blackmailer, right? But coming to talk about playing with the so-called whatever is on ground in the country, if only Showore played by their rules, you will see by now they will be nailing Showore with all their evidences that they actually played with them. You will see them turning against Showore. But now, with the worst things in the country, there is no way If you say you want to play by their rules, if you try it, they will come back for you later. It's just a matter of maybe some weeks and they will come back for you. But let me ask this question. Do you think your understanding about the revolution now is to cause chaos in the country or to awaken the people of the country? That's my take, my question.
Okay. Thank you very much, Regina. I want you to let's do justice to the first, the person who called before all of these people. He was asking you about people in the entertainment industry, your relationship with them, and how and if you are trying to use it to awaken their consciousness about talking about what's going on in the country.
Yes. So at this point in my life, I believe that whatever your hands find to do, you have to do it well, not just well, robustly well. The pizzazz and the shine, the glitter, or the glitterazzi of Nollywood does not really hold any appeal to me. How to use Nollywood to impact positively on the lives of people is what I am all about. And yes, I have been working with a few Nollywood titans. For example, the health and wellness program that focused on nutrition that we held in Nigeria, it was called Superstars. Superstars saw celebrities, from Nollywood work hand in hand with chefs in Lagos to present African cuisine, and teach people how they can use foods to heal themselves. So major players from Nollywood participated in that, and I'm ever grateful. Shagun Arinze, Ibinabo Feberisima, Ayo Adesanya, Mona Lisa Chinda, and many of them came out to support. Duchess Nena, who lives in London, they came together to support that program and did an impactful job. Another thing we're working on is 1 million face masks for Nigerians. Big players in Nollywood are also waiting to support us on how to spread the information on keeping yourself COVID-free, hand washing, social distancing, and wearing your face mask, okay? Nigerians have been encouraged to take 3-minute videos of themselves, and they have done so, and they have sent in their videos. Right now, we are choosing the winners from amongst those videos, and these videos will be played over different medias and on NTA to teach, to further educate the Nigerian public who don't seem to believe that there is COVID out there, to further educate the Nigerian public on the need for, taking and observing COVID social etiquette. Nollywood people are supporting us in that too. One thing I'd like to say about Nollywood is it's a beautiful thing that Netflix has come, but the Nigerian factor has it that a few people have access to the influence of Netflix, and a majority of the other players are not able to get the much needed support they would have gotten from Netflix. So I would like to call out right now that opportunity should be opened up to all the players in Nollywood. Let them present what they have, let them get fair consideration, and let them be able to get up out there and showcase themselves to the world. Nollywood is doing very well. I want to thank them also for the palliatives they have shared to the people, because even though there's not work right now for them to do, from the little they have in their pocket, you see them going around in their different communities, sharing bags of rice, sharing food, sharing money, crediting accounts, They're doing very well. So I thank Nollywood for that. And I would like to encourage them to do more. If only the Nigerian government will, borrow a leaf from what one person is able to do to the immediate community, and then organize themselves in such a way that they are able to impact on the greater Nigerian community. It will be a good thing to see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What was the question about Revolution Now? Revolution Now scored 100% in my book, but when it comes to...
Sorry, my voice was out. It's all this thing of trying to cut off people from here. So my question, guys, was the Revolution Now. What is your perception of Revolution Now? Whether you thought it was an opportunity to cause mayhem in the country, or just an opportunity to sensitize people and awaken their consciousness?
It was absolutely an opportunity to sensitize the people and awaken their consciousness, and they did just that. I'm very happy that they were brave enough to go do that, and now people know, people are aware that they can actually agitate for better. They can actually demand to be treated better. They can actually ask of the government, look, this is what we want. Please consider our request. Now,
Okay, Regina. Sorry. Lots of people on standby here. We're going
okay,
to
go ahead.
we're going to turn you guys back in and ask you to just ask your questions quickly, and Regina will do justice to them. Right now, we have someone on WhatsApp and someone on the main line. I'll take the main line because it cuts off the WhatsApp. So quickly, tell us your name, sir, and where you're calling from. It looks like Vietnam. Go ahead.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have people on our program
Yeah.
from all
Hello.
over the world. Go ahead, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah. My name is Francis.
Okay, Francis.
Francis, you're calling from where?
Yeah, I'm calling from Vietnam.
Vietnam. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes. So I have something to say about
A
Nigeria.
question for Regina Askia Williams.
Yes. Yes.
Go ahead
yes.
and ask your question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask Regina, because what she went through, many people I think are passing through the same thing at the moment, all over the world.
Yeah.
So I want to ask her, what does she have to tell those people who are passing through what she went through at this moment, how they can be held? I mean, how they can be able to settle their differences with their families and their husbands, their wives, and how they can move forward.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are you going through that kind of situation?
Sorry?
Are you going through a situation now?
No. I have friends that.
Okay, no problem. No problem. I was just teasing you there.
Okay, let me say something quickly to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're
So,
going
Regina,
to-
let's take the other guy who's on standby, and then you can answer, please.
Okay.
Let's see if he's still there. The guy on WhatsApp, I hope. Oh no, he went off. Go ahead, Regina.
If you're going through a situation, get help. Is there help? Is there help where you live for you to get? I have to say that most times when people are in a situation, you find that they're very emotional. They have a lot of
Sorry, sorry, Regina. Sorry, the guy
Yeah.
is still there. Okay, I didn't know.
Okay.
Sorry, my dear. Just ask your question, and Regina will deal with that. Go ahead, tell us your name and where you're calling from, and ask your question.
Hello, good evening.
Good
My
evening.
name is Favor. I'm calling from Germany.
Go ahead, Favor.
Yeah, my first question is, Regina said how we should go in. How do we go in? For example, now that Showore came out and said revolution, nobody came to support Showore, and now we are talking. How do we solve this problem? It's easier said than done. How do we really break all these cabals? Because the problem of Nigeria is this cabals. And one other problem, trust. There is no trust. If the young ones can come together under one umbrella, we should set aside our differences and all this bite, and come together as one. I believe we can break in and support Showore. And if we have others that are like Showore, we bring them in. And there's nobody that is 100% pure or perfect. But we should be able to break these people and let the new generation take over. If we can do this, I think we will move ahead. But that question, Regina, please answer the question. How do we break in? If you know how to break it, please let us know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Regina.
Thank you.
You can,
I don't know
go ahead,
if you know how hard we work behind the scenes to try and create the consensus candidate situation. Just imagine if we could have gotten a Mogalu, a Showore, a Dr. Achibong, Atujide, if we could have gotten all those people together, right? With the understanding that when you get there, okay, whichever one gets there, or we present you as a forerunner, if you don't make it and this person makes it, this is what we expect to happen. We're going to place you here, you there, and this is our agenda. So people get in there with preconceived agendas on how to move this nation forward. This is what I'm trying to talk about. If there was a consensus candidate, a third force, do you think that we would not have been able to push out the old people, the Atikus and the APC people? We would have gotten far. We would have made some kind of dent. But like the lady said, we don't have any trust amongst ourselves. Look at the shame that happened at the consensus candidate situation. People were not able to get it together. We could not even get it together in such a small forum. How were we planning to get it together on the bigger platform? It is not always Gragba that will take you, coming up in somebody's face. That might not work all the way. Okay, that might not always work. I have been trying to say, let us have an understanding. And when there is an election, let us place key people in key positions. Right now, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, okay? Somebody that is little known, Dr. Sukwo Mende Achibong, right? He has a group of people planning or studying the problems of different areas in Nigeria. For example, if you're talking about Sokoto, they know the problems on ground there. They know they have an agenda they want to run if their people ever get into office. If you're talking of Lagos, if you're talking of Abuja, they have plans, okay? So if there's an opportunity for them, they'll hit the ground running with key people in special positions. You're asking me, how are you able to get in by the oath, by having to kill people, No. This is how, this is why we have elections. How do we do to make our votes count? What do we do to make our votes count? How can we get diaspora people able to vote? This is what we should be working on now, so that when the time comes, we are able to do what we need to do. Stop smiling and laughing. Come up with your own solutions too, because you're going back to run for office, and we are on standby to support.
This is my show.
We have to do something. We can't just lay down and die. We can't just let people come from country and overrun Nigeria and rape and kill and rob the country.
Curb your enthusiasm, madam. This is my show. I can smile. He says, why are you smiling?
Hello, smile. But I mean, the frustration is so much when you think about
Regina, why, Regina? Let me sound like Reno. Let me sound like Reno Mokri. Why, Regina? Why? Please, why are you doing this? Please.
Stop it.
There will be another day. There will be another day. You've called me to your show. When I come to your show,
let's talk about it.
Yes, we will talk about it, and I will advise your people who are beginning to sit together and plan. We have one or two things. Say, person where don't go. If you never go, you never know. So we'll tell them one or two things so that
they were there.
No problem.
They were there and they got votes from every region.
No, don't worry. You see, let me quickly add this before we go back to the question about relationship. That was the last question someone asked you. See, Regina, I lost my line of thought there.
I'm talking, you want to tell me that I'm talking from utopia. I'm talking about an ideal situation, an ideal condition.
You said,
I don't know what to talk
about. You said, could you imagine if we had a consensus candidate?
Imagine.
At that time, I woke up one day with this. It was, if I wanted to be so spiritual, I would say it was the Holy Spirit that woke me up. It was so heavy. I was like, my head was exploding. I had this talk with Omoyele Shore. I had this talk with Moralo. I had this talk with Fela Durotoye. I had this talk with Obia Zekwesili. That was, it was it. And everybody agreed. And it was like, who was going to bail the cat? We all knew it. Everybody knew it. You didn't need rocket science to know it. But in hindsight, now we know that even if we had come up with a consensus candidate, it doesn't matter what you came up with. Even if the votes were 1,000 to 1. What these guys had planned for us did not take into account whatever you were. Do you understand what I'm doing? Even if we won the election at our different polling units, before it got to the local government collections, they would have messed it up. Even if you were winning at the local government level, before it was transmitted, remember in the same Nigeria, the same results were sent electronically to Abuja, and the returning officer had to enter motor or plane to go to Abuja. By the time his aeroplane took off from wherever he was and the aeroplane landed in Abuja, the result that was sent electronically he couldn't reconcile with the result that he took physically to that place. So a lot of things went on. They would have still declared Buhari the winner. So that is what we have looked at, and we have said, look, playing this game with these people, and there are undertones, the undertones to what they were doing, what we were seeing manifesting as political dribbles and all those things. There was a more sinister agenda, and it was that agenda that was driving every other thing that was. So all of those things that was happening was they were just allowing us to do. When we finished, they brought in their own agenda, and we are witnesses that immediately Muhammadu Buhari was installed again, returned as president, very quickly they abandoned all of that thing, even within their own party people. What you are seeing right now, what we are seeing right now, that is the original agenda, right? That's
the agenda of furthering the interest of the North.
Look, we will talk on my program, talk about the relationship that the guy asked you for, and then
you're scared.
Me scared? And I'm wearing an orange beret? No. You don't know me. No.
So what is the agenda? I'm going to keep at you until you tell me what that agenda is and how we can begin.
The agenda, who is the cabal? Who is running the country? Is the Fulani, the Fulani Caliphate. And their agenda,
is that of the Fulani Caliphate to
Nigeria.
overrun Nigeria.
Of course, that is the agenda for Nigeria, which was sponsored by the British right from the get-go. This is not something of today. So that's why you need to rewind. That's why I respect people. See, you need to listen to people like Nnamdi Kanu, but put a filter on your ear. Put a filter in your ears. Yes, it's a recommendation. I see the way you twisted your mouth, but if you have to trust me, yeah. You need to listen to Nnamdi Kanu with filters in your ear. Why do I say filters? You're not going to like everything you will hear from him. But you see, even from a madman, when you pause and listen to the person, you can pick one or two things. And because, Regina, that's why I'm interested in you, what you represent, the trajectory of where I see you going. You're the kind of people that we need. I'm actually winning you into our camp. So I'm interested in I'm interested in you arming yourself and being fully armed with the situation in Nigeria. You need to expand, and that's what you're doing. You're expanding your horizon. You're broadening your knowledge of what is happening, and with that, you'll be able to make a judgment call, and you'll be able to understand the situation we're dealing with now. What we're dealing with now, my sister, is gone beyond PDP, APC. Those ones are not even, I can't even discuss them here because that one is like, they never, let's leave it there. It's gone beyond PDP, APC, AAC because we've been there, done that. What we're seeing right now is women being raped, being kidnapped, soldiers dying. Do you see the amount of soldiers that are resigning? People have come onto my show, we have had to mask them, and they reveal what is happening within the military, the Navy. Nigeria it's not from my mouth you will hear it. By the time we do your program, we will now ask you to tell us.
When are we doing my program?
Well,
you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday?
Wednesday, Friday, I do my programs Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And,
okay, so you have Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah, I have Thursday. No, I have Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay, so Thursday.
Okay, Thursday. Okay, we're
see
on.
See you on the Office of the Citizen on Thursday.
No problem. I accept your challenge.
All right.
Okay, so I think there was a last question about.
Last question.
About
okay.
Yeah, relationship.
The last question, like I was explaining, whenever people are in tight situations, violent situations, emotional or verbally abusive situations, there is one equation, there's one common equation, that tensions have risen because passions are high, emotions are high. When you are in that situation, if help is available to you, get help. If help is not available to you in terms of counselors, in terms of people you can go talk to, in terms of where you can get therapy, remove yourself from that situation. When I say remove, take a walk, go outside and have an honest conversation with yourself. Okay? When you do that, before you open your mouth to say something, okay, think twice. Roll your tongue 7 times in your mouth before you speak. Because when you are heated, when you're upset, the only thing that will come from your mouth is something to hurt the other person, okay? So consider that if you would not like her to say that to you, don't say that to her. Consider what you want in this relationship. Do you want to continue in this relationship? Do you love this person? Do you want to make a decision to stay with this person despite their flaws? When you can honestly answer those questions, half your battle is won, okay? From there on, deconstruct. You cannot go smiling at somebody and they slap you. You cannot go being nice to somebody, hugging and loving to somebody, and then they spit on you. If they do that, then that's a pathological situation, and they need help, okay? You are not a psychologist, you are not a doctor. If people are giving you wrong reactions, they need help, okay? But if you find yourself in a situation that would get volatile and physical at any minute, remove yourself, okay? This is some of the things we learned in the anger management class, so I'm sharing, okay? So invest in yourself, invest in your relationship, honestly. Fight that you love this person and you're going to stay with this person and you're going to do whatever it takes to make it work, and do just that.
Thank you so much, Regina Askia Williams. This is why I wanted you on our program. This is why I pursued you for how many months, and then we finally got you to be.
It was very distrustful of you. That orange beret, those people.
You were scared, but
I
hope that finally you've got a feel of the orange berets and you see that we're not about violence.
We should talk more.
Yeah,
yes,
we're about creating consciousness. And Regina, it's such a pleasure to bring you on. The reason I really wanted you to come on is that you represent what the real slave queen should be. Drop dead gorgeous, beautiful Nollywood star from back in the days. So we're trying to tell the slave queens today, this is what a slave queen should be. Slave queen is not the slave queen that people are doing now. This is what slave queen goes to school. Slave queen gets a degree. Slave queen works hard. And slave queen knows their environment. It's not you come on our program and Chidi, what I'm thinking is what I'm thinking. And then we will ask you, what do you think about Nigeria's situation? Say, well, you know what, Chidi? Nigeria's is what I'm thinking is no, that is not no.
Oh my goodness.
That one doesn't follow. So Regina, on behalf of everybody, thank you so much, and we'll be looking forward to an interesting time with you on Thursday. And when next we invite you, please answer our call.
I will.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching, people. It was nice hanging out with you.
Yeah. Thank you. Regards to your beautiful family.
Will do. And to Big Rudy, too.
To Big Rudy. Big Rudy is my man. He's my man. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So that was Regina Askia.